What's up guys, welcome back to another video. I hope you're all doing well today. Today I hope you'll enjoy the first track review that I'm doing on the channel. Slightly different style of video to the usual track walks that I do. So please do let me know in the comments down below if you like this format, and if so I'll try and keep them coming because it was a little bit more effort to put together. I really enjoy this. It kind of takes a deeper look into the tracks that I'm doing, not just me waffling on whilst I'm playing. Today we'll be looking at the track called Motodromo Ari Justino, also called Pista do Binho. Please excuse me if I've completely butchered that, all of the Brazilians watching, I do apologise. It's a track created by Kevin Fuela131 on the MX Bikes Mods website, and it was posted on the 7th of September 2021. At the time of recording this, the track is currently sat at just under 1,000 downloads, with an average rating of 4.8 out of 5, so people are clearly enjoying it, which is why another reason why I decided to do a review of it. This track is located in southern Brazil and is based off of a real track with exactly the same name. Kevin has released a handful of tracks onto the website now. One of them was a import from Sim over to bikes, but then I think he's got another 2 or 3 or so of the Brazilian tracks that he's made himself. I haven't played any of these before, however I know the most popular one I think is Carlos Barbosa. I quite often see that on the server lists, but yeah, as I say, this is the first one of his tracks that I'm playing. As far as first impressions go, when looking at the screenshots on the track page, it looks really well built. The corners in the picture show multiple line choices, with I'd say fairly deep ruts compared to what we usually see on tracks nowadays. So in my head I'm kind of thinking, okay, you should be able to stick into those and rail them pretty quickly, and where there's multiple of them you should be able to take various lines without too much worry about one being super dominant over the others. So loading up the track, my first lap round felt very natural and intuitive, which is always a big thing for me as far as like fun factor of the track goes. In my opinion, if you come up to a jump and you can, for the first time, and you can scrub it a little bit and downside it perfectly, that tells me that the corner before the jump or the straight before the jump has been built in a way that allows you to carry like the perfect amount of speed for the jump coming up, which overall adds to just the general flow of the track. It makes you flow a lot nicer, and you haven't got to worry about checking up really hard or making sure you hit a corner absolutely perfectly with an inch of its life to just barely downside a jump. So props to Kevin for that. The jump faces seem really well made as well for MX bikes. Some tracks fall victim to being a little bit too steep, which can have a poor impact on the bike's performance. We all know what MX bike physics are like, but no issues here at all. The jump faces are really good for us trying to stay low. Not so much for getting fully upside down, but that's probably just down to my own whipping ability. But to each of their own. I'm sure there's some people much better than I that can probably get a bit steezy on the jumps here. The roughness of the track I think is really good. It's like that middle ground between overly choppy but then also not a highway. So it's nothing like Forest where there's no bumps at all, but then again it's not like Oz, for example, where you're constantly trying to get kicked over the handlebars. There is one section of track that did catch me out a couple of times, which was just like some chop coming up to a roller, but this was just due to me trying to be too eager too soon and just trying to hit everything as fast as possible. Once I slowed down a little bit over the bumps in that section, I stopped wadding myself each lap and had no more problems from there. In the game, the ruts performed as I expected they would, going from those screenshots previously. The corners all have multiple ruts, as I said before. Some of them were viable, some were viable but not as beneficial for you. I think one thing that could have been improved, or improved for the next track that he makes, is making the inside ruts slightly smaller than the others, just to make them a bit more balanced, because they all seem to be around the same height and depth, so there's no real disadvantage of going inside everywhere. I see he's tried making the inside, the lead up to the inside ruts slightly bumpier than the others, but I don't think it slows you down enough to not make the inside lines like OP in every corner. I think if you just go outside in a lot of corners, you'd end up quite a bit of a disadvantage and end up losing a fair amount of time. The only other thing I would suggest is some of the turns are completely flat, so like some are very right, some are completely flat. At first I thought it might just be because the track is a replica, and the GoPro video that it was based off may have been like that. The track may have been in that condition on the day, but I did go and have a quick look of the GoPro video as well, and some of the corners in that video that are rutted are flat in game. So just maybe, I'm not sure what kind of angle he was going for, if he wanted it to be like a hard replica or kind of a mixture to make it a bit more fun in game. I think maybe adding a couple of ruts to these flat corners could have maybe helped the track overall and kind of mesh it into one, so it feels more of the same sort of flow the whole way around the track. The checkpoints of the track I haven't had any troubles with, which is always key for getting these tracks right and keeping people happy. I think I ran maybe 10-15 laps in total in the process of recording this video, and I didn't come across any issues at all with them not counting, so that's always a plus, so well done for that. As far as the environment and the aesthetics go, it's a little bit on the bland side. There's just like a thin row of trees bordering the outside of the track and a couple of vehicles. I may be mistaken, but the impression I get from the GoPro footage is that it's a fairly private track, which of course excuses the lack of vehicles. It doesn't look like there'd be lots of people there at once. Maybe having a couple of people dotted about the track, like in the GoPro footage, maybe standing on the side of the jumps, like you get your pitboard person that writes all your times down, may have been a cool little cool addition there. And then I think the only other thing, if I'm being really like nitpicky and digging into the deep details, is maybe some slightly darker track details. I don't run any shaders and stuff in my game, so it's just like stock MX bikes, and in game it looks a lot lighter than the real version, but of course that's me being like super picky when it comes to the finer things. Overall, I think Kevin's done a very good job here. It's a fun track, and it's one of those that I can quite easily see myself hopping on and playing every now and then when I get a bit bored. It doesn't take too much brain power to just run pretty good back-to-back laps on it. I think it's a very good intermediate level track, so one that people can move on to once they've got past all the easier tracks like the Forest and the MX Bike Club, before they want to track all the beasts of MX bikes like your Oz track and your Lommel, for example. And that will kind of do it for the breakdown for me. Before I do the quick sign off and give my overall rating of the track, I'm just going to pop a quick like a raw hot lap video in the background here. Let me know in the comments if you've played this track what your lap times are looking like. So this lap is fairly early on in me playing this track, so obviously I'm sure you can shave a couple of seconds off. I just think this had a little bit of fun competition to these videos. I might keep doing it for more to come as well. So enjoy this lap time, and I'll catch you in a second. Okay, so that will do it for me. I hope you have all enjoyed this video. I think my overall rating for this track probably be maybe like a 6.5 out of 10. I feel like a 6 has been really harsh and a 7's like too average of a number. I feel like everyone picks a 7 if you was to choose a number between 1 and 10. Key point is the ruts themselves are actually made really well, really easy to stick in them. The jump faces are really good. Things to improve upon maybe is making the corners a little bit more balanced, and maybe a couple more ruts in extra corners, and then obviously finally the few things I mentioned about the environment. There might have been a couple of things that you could do just to make it a bit more lively and interesting. I know some people get like background sounds like birds chirping, for example, in the background of some of their tracks. But overall, very good job, Kevin. I did enjoy playing this track, and as I said previously, it will probably be a track that I do play again. So I would encourage you all to go and download it. I know a lot of you are kind of that intermediate level to watch the channel, so I think it'll be a perfect track for you guys to just run laps on. Leave a like if you did enjoy this style of video, and let me know down below as well if you did. I'll really appreciate the feedback on this style of video. Hopefully you guys enjoy it so I can do some more. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and until I catch you guys in the next video, Peace.
Got bad shit all up in my mind right now. Fuck it, give me a minute and I'ma let it all out. I don't give a shit about an opinion, be another dimension when I wake up, wake up, wake up. Bitch, it's time to fill the cup. Got no fucking love, I feel so stuck.